When we talk about motivation and discipline, I always say motivation is doing things when you feel like doing it, and discipline is doing things regardless of how you feel. Don't rely on motivation. Motivation is a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling which will get you started with things. Because everything that you need to do in your life is fucking hard to do. But everything fucking hard to do will change your life. And no one is going to come and get you up in the morning and tell you to do it. Discipline is doing things regardless of how you feel. And for me, that is reminding myself of if it's hard to do, it's good to do. Because you don't learn anything from a perfect day. And I always think that when this is difficult, I remind myself, if this is difficult, then it's worth doing, because most people at this stage would have given up. So if you don't, you're going to get rewarded eventually by this. And you don't know when, there's not a timeline for this, but you will. 10, 15 years time, you look back and there will be probably a split second moment where you're just like, it's all worth it. And one thing that I found is when I build up daily stress tolerance, when I face these things that most people don't want to do, two things happen. Firstly, discipline is a muscle which needs to be strengthened and built daily. And if you build that daily and maintain it, anything that life throws at you, you can deal with. That person on the internet who sends you a shitty message, you just brush it off. And one of the things that I say to a lot of people is that you need to have your shit squared in many different areas. Physically, mentally, financially, and emotionally. And the way that I kind of have this as an analogy is that there's a lot of people that are drowning in something. Debt, relationship problems, life. And one thing they say is if somebody is drowning, don't go in and rescue them. Because what will happen is they don't know what they're doing. So they'll pull you down and you'll drown too. My day starts at 4:30 a.m. Get up at 4:30, downstairs for about 4:45. I stretch and do some mobility for 25 minutes. Thinking in the morning is so important. Once you've moved, journaling is the most amazing thing because your brain is firing up. And the morning when it's quiet and it's early is the best time to ask yourself the all-important questions. Such as, are you happy with what you're doing with your life? What are we going to plan to do this week to push the needle forward? Journaling is a massive game changer. And the reason that a lot of people don't journal is because they don't know what to ask themselves. And that's why you need prompts. Prompts are super, super important. And just write in a journal 3 things. What are you thinking about? What 3 things are you grateful for? And what, if completed today, would make it a good one? 3 simple questions that any person can ask themselves each day. I then go for a dip in my plunge tank. So that takes me to about 6:15. I then drive to the gym, get to the gym about 6:45, quarter and a half by the time I've dried off, 6:45. Gym till about 7:45, 8 o'clock, so maybe an hour and 20 in the gym, and then come back and have breakfast. So start at 4:30, waking up, finishes about 8:30. It's about 4 hours. I had a viral video about my morning routine because a lot of people got angry because they're like, that's not sustainable, or that's too much. And I completely agree. But to me, it's Monday. And the reason it's Monday is because I choose to do all of these things and I'm in a position to be able to do them. Move, breathe, read. When you wake up in the morning, you have to have some kind of movement, be it stretching, be it going out for a walk. That's what's really going to help get your brain firing up, because as soon as you move, your brain is fully refreshed, fully recovered from a night's sleep. As soon as you move, it wakes it up. Breathe. Breath work has been a massive game changer for me. I've only really been doing it for about a year now. We breathe every day, but how often do we breathe? When we're stressed, we have shallow breath. So simple thing. Wim Hof breathing I love. box breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds out, 5 second hold. What I found with breathing is it reminds me of an old TV, that old white noise where it's going, because what happens when you breathe is it turns the noise down. So breathe, read. When your brain is firing all cylinders, absorb it with some good shit. Either read a book or listen to an audiobook. Cheat code is to move and listen to an audiobook. I used to have these things called power walks. People think, how fast do you go? I'm not, no, you don't understand. I'm powering up on the walk. Hard things, easy life, easy things, hard life. I would say it's the easiest one to remember, and also if you took it on board and if you reminded yourself of that every single day, anything that life throws at you would ask yourself, well, hard things, easy life, easy things, hard life. Choose hard things. When hard things happen, you'll learn the lessons. And life, I don't know, I think it was a John Maxwell quote. Someone said to him, John, life is difficult. And he said, compared to what? And it's this assumption that life's meant to be easy. So who told you that?
Today's video was made possible, as always, at Mulliganbrothers.com. Mulliganbrothers.com with a mission to inspire change, and you guys are making that possible. So thank you so much, everybody who bought a t-shirt, a journal. But also I wanted to say that the new poster is available, the Momentum Mori poster. Use code STOIC at checkout for 10% off. It's a poster of 80 years of tiny little squares, and you shade them in as you go along. It's a constant reminder that one day you're gonna die. You are gonna die one day. And if that doesn't get you motivated, I don't know what will. It works for me. Every day I wake up, I realize that time is very, very precious and important. And it's been the best motivational tool for me. So if you want to use code STOIC at checkout, you get 10% off at mulliganbrothers.com, where all the profits go back into creating this content.